Hello, Unlimited Friends. Today I have a question from Natalie, and it's a really good question. Natalie says, I burned myself last night badly. I'm wondering how and why I manifested that. I'm meditating daily, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I will say, I called my sister, who is an EMT, and she told me what to do to keep it from getting too bad. I then did process 21 from Ask and It Is Given right before I went to sleep. So it's pretty good this morning. But why did it happen to begin with? And how many times have we asked this question? I know that I've asked this question. I was doing pretty well. I was doing a really good job. How did this happen? So I'm going to share what I've learned from Abraham over the years, and it's going to make so much sense. But before I get into it, let me introduce myself to those of you who are here for the first time. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com. I'm the author of 12 books on the subject of law of attraction, and on this channel, it is my objective to make law of attraction easy and simple to understand and apply so that we can create an unlimited life. Okay, Natalie, first of all, thank you so much for your brilliant question. I appreciate your asking it because it's going to help all of us. So, when a manifestation happens, as it did in your case, you burned yourself. Any manifestation that takes place is a communication from the universe. Because any manifestation that comes to us comes in response to the vibration that we've got going on. And it's supposed to catch our attention and give us the information about what we need to do next, because a negative manifestation is an indication that we were not paying enough attention, or that we need to do more than what we were doing about being positive, about being mindful, about being conscious of thinking our thoughts on purpose. That's all there is to it. You see, there's this misconception with the people who start doing law of attraction work. And I write about it along with 15 other misconceptions in this book called Manifesting Mistakes. The mistake we make is that when we start doing the work and we start feeling good, we feel that we are high up over here on the emotional scale, but we're not. All we've got is relief. And we feel that relief, which feels pretty good. If you've been under the water, let's say that somebody pushes your head under the water. When you come out of that, you feel pretty good. Because when you were under the water, it felt terrible, right? But just coming out of the water doesn't mean that you're flying in the sky. You've just come out of the water. You've got your head above water, but you're not the eagle in the sky. Going up the emotional scale is a stepwise process. And for those of us who are doing the work to improve the way we think our thoughts, we make that improvement and inside we start feeling good. It feels as if we are the eagle flying in the sky until something happens, like what happened here, Natalie, which points out to us that we are not the eagle in the sky yet. We need to do more work. So what happened to you is just an indication. It's a message from the universe saying, you've been doing a good enough job, but you need to do more of this in order to actually go where you want to go. Or it's an indication that says, you've gone off track, come back on track. Now, there's this thing that Abraham calls momentum. When something gets going, it has momentum or speed. The thoughts that you used to think in the past, they have momentum or speed. And just because you've changed who you are and you've started thinking thoughts in a new way, does not mean that that momentum has stopped. Look at a top. When we spin a top, I don't know if you've ever played with tops, but I used to love to do it. So when you spin a top, even when you stop spinning, it keeps going round and round. Why? Because you've imparted enough energy to it, you've given it enough momentum that it keeps going with that momentum. And then you start a new top, right? But this top is new and you haven't played with it before. And you're still working on getting the angles right and working on getting it to go fast. Well, this one hasn't stopped yet. You've got this one going, but it's like a race. This one has to come to a complete stop before this one can take over. That's the analogy of the red car and the blue car that I always use and that I teach in the Heart and Mind Alignment program. In fact, I teach it all the time, whether it's inside the program or outside of it. It's switching those cars. This was the car that represents my old beliefs, and I've stopped doing this and I've started creating this new car with a whole new set of beliefs. And I've incorporated meditation into my life. But this is new car. It doesn't have enough fuel in it. I'm still in the process of fueling it with more thought. So it cannot go as fast as the old car, which has a full tank. It's going to take a while before this full tank runs out. In the meantime, if I want the blue car to win the race, so to speak, I have got to do a lot more. And when something like this happens, it's an indication that says, you thought you were doing a pretty good job, but guess what? You're not there yet. You've got to do more. You've got to pay more attention to your thoughts. See, meditation on its own is not enough. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel called Meditation is Not Enough. The reason meditation is not enough is because meditation is like a shortcut. So let me use the spine of the book. Okay, so let's say that this is the emotional scale. Meditation will take you from wherever you are, and because during meditation you stop or you slow down thought, you also slow down the power of your beliefs because your thoughts are slowed down. So it's like a shortcut. It takes you from wherever you are a couple of notches up the emotional scale. Usually it will bring you past the halfway mark of worry, up the emotional scale, which feels pretty good. But then you come out of your 15-20 minutes, maybe even a 1 hour meditation, and you go back out into the world where you think your thoughts the way you used to think them before you went into meditation. Meditation does not help us change the way we think our thoughts. It does take us up here, so we feel a little better. When we feel a little better, and if we could maintain this vibration for a considerable period of time, our manifestations would start corresponding to this set point. However, in reality, when we come out of meditation and we look at that person who's always angry with us, we go immediately back down the emotional scale. Or we watch the news and something's happening somewhere in the world and it brings us right down the emotional scale. And we don't realize it. We don't realize that we've gone from here to here because it happens like that, happens really, really quickly. And the other reason we don't realize it is because this is not where we are used to being. We are used to spending most of our time somewhere over here. So unless we become someone who spends most of their time in this realm, we're not going to feel ourselves going way back down the emotional scale. And then you just pick up on your habit of thought. And if your habit of thought is to think a certain way, and what is that way? Well, we try and train ourselves once we learn law of attraction, but the truth is our thoughts go off on autopilot, and for half the time during the day we don't know what we are thinking. And that's the time where our mind takes over, and it just keeps thinking thoughts that it has practiced before. And those thoughts are the same old beliefs, because a belief is just a thought. Oh, things are not working for me. How are things going to work out for me? What's going to happen next? Who's going to do this for me? What do I need to do next? Can I really trust that this will happen for me? Am I really doing the law of attraction work the way I'm supposed to do it? Maybe I'm making some mistake. That's the autopilot. So for 15 minutes you meditate. From time to time you appreciate. But for 50% of your waking hours, you're on an autopilot. And the whole process of being in the unlimited 40-day law of attraction workout and the heart and mind alignment course is to reprogram the autopilot so that when you go off on the autopilot, you don't go negative. You still stay on the positive side of things. But then a manifestation like this happens, and it's supposed to jerk you awake to say, hang on, you got to stay conscious for more of the time than you are, because you haven't yet reprogrammed your autopilot. And so where you think you're the eagle in the sky, you're not. You just have your head above the water. And that relief feels good. But you got to do more. You've got to turn into that eagle that can soar to the sky. And you can. Lots of us do. So many more people are doing it now than ever before. And it is because of all the work that people like Esther Hicks and Abraham have done, and other people like Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and, Louise Hay, really big icons who have done so much, given so much of their time to us to help us to understand how things work. And if they can change their lives and they can help so many other people change, you and I can change too. So I hope, Natalie, that satisfies your question. Powerful question. Loved the question. Bring on more questions. And remember, before you leave this video, do click on that like button and hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel, because I would love to see you in my next video. Bye for now.